This video was made possible by Newegg's biggest summer sale, Fantas Tech. There are so many goodies inside. Newegg does not require any memberships to get these great deals, unlike those other guys. And also they have some great tools to help you find your tech, like a laptop finder where you just input information to find your perfect laptop. Also a PC builder that helps you build that next amazing computer. There are so many deals, but here are a few of the top deals that I found. Asus TUF Gaming A17 is now at an all-time low price of $1399, which is $400 off. MSI Codex R Gaming Desktop, which is now under $1,000 for the first time ever. Corsair iCUE ML120 RGB fan kit is now down to $50. All these deals and more are linked down below, but hurry up, these deals end soon. The Pixel Fold is getting a lot of hate right now online from reviewers. Now, as a person that reviews devices, I do my best not to let the chatter get to me and sway how I feel about a product. Now, I wasn't sent a review device, and yeah, I'm a little salty. However, I still bought it. Mine came in and I activated my eSIM, and I've been using it for a week, and I got some things to say. Now, first of all, let's talk about the main thing that people want to talk about. It's expensive. It's $1,800, and the specs will be outdated within a month for some of the newer phones coming out, and actually it's already outdated compared to the 7 Pro. And that's definitely a legit concern and something to consider, but I also want you to consider this. Year over year, we talk about the latest flagship processors, and typically there isn't many changes that will affect most people. And most people upgrade their phones because something goes wrong, the battery didn't last like it did before, or they just want something new. No one's upgrading their phone because they want the latest processor. No one does that. Now, with that being said, my actual time with this phone has been great so far. And let's talk about that form factor, which is very subjective because phones, this phone, any phone, is very subjective. It's how it fits in your hand and how you like to use it. I love how this phone feels in my hand. And when it's closed, it's perfect. It's still a two-handed device when typing, but it's so comfortable to hold. The screen is big enough to do anything on the phone. Now, I do open it up when I'm going to write a longer email to have access to the full keyboard. Also, obviously, when watching videos or playing games, and even on a text-heavy website, having this larger screen just makes more sense. When it's opened up, it's pretty wide, but I dig it. I will admit, when watching videos, due to its form factor, the bars at the top and bottom are pretty big, and it does ruin some of that immersiveness when watching video. But just like a hole punch, a notch, or anything else, you get used to it. And when you stop looking at the black bars and start watching your content, you'll start to enjoy it. Also, the speakers are so good for video and music. I also have Bluetooth speakers all around the house, but I found myself not connecting to them as much because the speakers on this thing is pretty good.
Experience using this phone day to day as a normal consumer. Now, this is the best style of foldable phones if you're not into foldable.
These bezels are pretty big, but same as the screen, after a while, you just stop thinking about it. But the screen feels like cheap plastic, and I can't stop thinking about that. And it's something you can't fix. It's there. It's slippery. It's not a great experience, especially when you're coming from something like the Fold. Also, there has been reports about hair and other things making its way under its display. And also, I don't like the location of the volume rocker. I think it's too low. I would love the volume rocker to be up higher and then the fingerprint scanner a tiny bit lower. Now, one of the big problems with foldable phones on Android is Android. You know, Android doesn't account for a folding screen. Same issue with tablets. Android really doesn't support those things besides phones. So if you look at some apps here on this device, like Reddit, it looks great when the phone is closed, but let's open, oh God, that looks ugly. And sadly, most apps look like this, and that is unacceptable. And honestly, since Google made this phone, they made Android, they should have resolved this day one. It's embarrassing and quite frankly unacceptable. But the silver lining is that this is just software. It can be fixed. But this has been the same complaint for such a long time. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to fix it. I truly don't. Now, Samsung definitely knew this was an issue, and that's why they baked in a lot of features that allows them to override Android, which gives you a better in-app experience. So this example, Reddit, look how it looks on the Z Fold compared to the Pixel Fold. And it's not really pretty, but it's much more useful. So to me, that is a big deal. And I do feel like some of the extra folding features that I want to see are missing. So yeah, you can run 2 apps at once, but the way Samsung does it with floating apps and access to the S Pen and more, this phone does feel watered down when you compare it to another folding phone. Google, you got to do better. For $1,800, there is no excuse for this type of experience from a paying customer. I don't want to gloss over all the Google Assistant stuff like waiting on hold for you or call screening, but this video is only a week with it and I didn't do those things just yet. So maybe subscribe for that when I do my full 30 days later review. So I've had some opportunities to use the camera, and it's a Google Pixel camera. It's not the latest camera found in the 7 Pro, but it's still a solid camera. I love how foldables give you access to the best possible cameras on the phone with the extra screen, and this one is no different. These images have this signature Pixel feel on them. They're contrasty, skin tones are accurate, and they're also very detailed. Now, day to day, there isn't anything more than I would want from this camera, but I know it's not the latest blah, blah, blah megapixels, but it's still a great camera. It's Google's software, it's Google's algorithm. They know how to make pictures look really good. Now, I do wish videos were a bit better, but also true to Pixel's DNA, they're behind when it comes to video, and this is no exception.
So this is the front-facing camera on the Pixel Fold. Obviously, you gotta let me know what you think. It's actually pretty loud out here, surprisingly enough. A lot of cars on this side of the road right here. So let me know what does it look like? What does it sound like as a big truck passes by? This is what you'd expect in a noisy environment. So this is me using the rear cameras as a front-facing camera. This is much better quality compared to the front-facing camera on the phone. Let me know what you think. The sky isn't washed out. It's actually all cloudy and gray here because of the smog, but obviously I want to know, what do you think? What does it look like and what does it sound like? And then this is the actual front-facing camera inside the cover display. So you open up the screen and this is the camera that you get. Is there a difference between all 3 cameras? I think there's going to be one, but I want you guys to know. So obviously there's going to be a difference between all 3 of these cameras, with the inside display being the lesser quality one, but you do have options on this phone and any foldable phone. But I want to know, what do you think about the video quality on this phone?
Overall, I've had the Pixel Fold for 1 week and it's far from perfect, but you know what? I love this phone. I love the size of it. I love having access to Pixel's camera. And for me, in a foldable form factor, I don't want to give up this phone, because I do think with some software adjustments, this can be amazing. But with the Z Fold 5 looming around the corner, Google's time is running out. If you want more cell phone videos from me, check out this playlist.